I am a mixed media visual artist based in New York and Boston. So my work leading up to this point was focused mostly on amalgamations of girlhood, deconstructing body parts, and exploring concepts of hybridity, being in a fluxus state or in a liminal space. And I'm currently, since I've been at Bemis, working on large-scale paintings on canvas, around 5 by 7 feet, in which the figures have now morphed into more fully grown or adult hybrid figures. The work is exploring dualism and concepts of duality, the idea of mirroring the figure or the twin figure. A sense of sort of symmetry and repetition is prevalent in the newer work, as well as the color palette has changed drastically from brighter, more vibrant candy colors to more muted, darker blues, grays, and purples. I think in general, artists, we don't have the ability to separate our personal experiences from the work that we make. So there's always, I believe, some evidence of an artist's experience in the work, but there is no intentional storytelling, autobiographical storytelling element in my work. Yeah, I definitely shifted my process a little bit since I've been here. I just recently started making pen and ink and full color marker drawings, which I hadn't done before. Prior to coming here, I was mostly making really small, rough thumbnail sketches. So now I've made more full color, fully realized drawings that become the blueprint for paintings, the paintings that I'm making. And so I usually project those onto the canvas, which is primed and super smooth. So it's prepped in a way that makes sure the surface is really smooth. And I usually block in a really rough wash of color before projecting the image onto the canvas. There is still an element of play and intuition inherent in these new works that happens through color choices that stray from the drawings. They aren't directly illustrating the drawings. So working with enamel paint, graphite, matte paints, high gloss paint, all those different surface textures are happening through the different media that I use. I think my aesthetic is constantly pulling different pieces of imagery and information from my own old work, from things that I'm seeing in the world that inspire the work, and just creating this more collage aesthetic, which is still very prevalent in the work, in the ways that I paint, in the way that I draw, and combine various elements. So my symbology that I've developed over the last 10 years or so is still very much present. When people see my work, I want them to have more questions, generate more questions than answers. There's no black or white answer to what I'm doing or what I've made. There are things that are on my mind, feelings that I have during the making of the work, but there's no literal definition or formal definition that I even have myself. So I really want people I want my work to elicit more questions and answers and change the way that people view others and each other and view concepts of tenderness and love. Some of the characters reoccurring characters in my work do have more of an identity because of the spaces they've existed in. All the other characters, I just refer to them as girls, and I always use air quotes because they aren't always feminine identifying. Some of them are gender ambiguous or gender non-specific. Sometimes they're children, sometimes they're adults, so they sort of range in age and gender and sexuality as well. So I think I've avoided thinking about developing a storyline for the characters because I don't want the work to become too literal or too narrative, if that makes sense. I like the work to exist in this liminal space where I'm also learning about it as it unfolds. So I know that eventually I probably will arrive at some more storylines because I do enjoy writing, like writing fiction. But right now I'm trying to just stay out of the work's way and let it do what it does.